Hi, this is Rachel with Rachel's Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the second film that I saw this summer in theaters. I only saw 3 because I had an injury to my knee, but all 3 that I saw I thought were just excellent, and that's pretty rare, I feel like, for summer to have 3 movies that I see that would probably make my top 20, certainly top 50 movies ever that I immediately want to get on Blu-ray that are really excellent. And the second one I want to talk about is The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And if you had told me a few years ago that one of my favorite movies, that an ape movie would make my top 50, I would have probably said you were nuts, because they're just so campy, the old ones. I enjoy them. I think that they're kind of entertaining, but they weren't something that really moved me or made me think. And this movie really, it not only entertained me, but it also made me think, and it's something that I have found myself pondering the messages of the movie for many weeks, since really the whole summer since I saw it in July. And Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is directed by Matt Reeves, and it stars Gary Oldman, Kerry Russell, and Jason Clarke. Stop motion capture. It stars Andy Serkis and Toby Kebbell. And all the cast I really liked. Some people have said, oh, the human actors playing human roles weren't very good, but I disagree. I thought they were all really good. I enjoyed it. So I thought everybody's performance was heartfelt and sincere, and so I think it was good. The story starts out with the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the relaunch of the franchise that was good, but this is even better and better acting, I think, than that movie. Certainly better special effects, although those were really good. But we zoom ahead. The virus that is started at the end of the first movie has gone across the globe and wiped out a huge portion of the human public. And in fact, it's so much so that the apes haven't seen a human being for a couple of years. And so at the beginning, all you get are apes. And they've developed their own civilization. They have a rudimentary language, where they can just say home, family, words like that. And the leader of their tribe, I guess, is Caesar, who was the leader, the main focus of the last movie. And he is a kind but powerful leader. At the beginning, he has a family. They have basically a monogamous familial system, similar to humans with the apes. And he has a baby, his wife, I guess, has a baby at the beginning of the movie, and he starts to wonder about the humans. He talks with Koba about the humans, and Koba is very bitter about the humans because of the experiments and the way that he was treated, whereas Caesar was treated with love and kindness by the James Franco character in the previous movie. They talk about that they hadn't seen any humans for 2 years. So a bunch of the pack is hunting, and all of a sudden they run into a group of humans. Well, we find out that there is a hub of humans, survivors, that are in San Francisco, and the apes are above San Francisco in the forest, and you have to go through there and the apes' land in order to get to a hydroelectric dam and see if it can still work, because the people in San Francisco are without power. And so that's why the humans are trying to go and see if they can access the dam, if they can get the power, get it working. And at first, especially Koba is very, very skeptical of the humans, but Caesar is more accepting. The story just keeps going from there. I don't want to give too much away, but the special effects are amazing. It looks so real. Like, you wouldn't even believe that they aren't real. I mean, part of what makes it look so great, I feel like, is instead of having a CGI background, which is so distracting to me, they actually would put the blue screens for the stop motion capture in and around the forest setting when they were filming, which just makes it feel so much more lush and real. It doesn't have that CGI look to it to me. There's an interesting sort of philosophical debate that goes on throughout the movie of this idea, is it like better to protect yourself, or is it better to seek peace at all costs? If we look at, that's certainly something that people are talking about with the current Israeli conflict. Is it better for Israel to protect themselves? That's how they see it, at least. Or do they hold off, and become vulnerable because they want peace? And that's really an interesting topic that's talked about in this movie. But it's not done ponderously. It's done very, very subtly, I feel like. But it's just something to make you think. And the scene that for me has the most, the scene that has made me think the most and made me ponder the most is they finally get the power going. And Gary Oldman is not in that many scenes of the movie, but he's kind of the ex facto president of the group in San Francisco. And he is petrified of going through what he had previously gone through, where his family had all died. He's just a wounded man, and he's going to do whatever it takes to not go through anything like that again. And which completely makes sense. And so he is completely terrified of the apes because they brought the disease that killed his whole family, which again makes sense. That really moved me and has made me just think all summer is they finally get the power back on, and he is able to charge up his iPad. And finally he's able to see photos of his children, of his boys, and he's just bawling, just crying. And it's really made me think, that I think we sometimes take all the images that we have for granted. That it wasn't that long ago in the history of mankind that people didn't have images of loved ones. But we have so many images, and I think we take it for granted. And that idea of having those images taken away because of a lack of electricity is just devastating. And it just made me think about the images in my head versus the images that I have on a tablet or on a phone or whatever, and make sure that they're just as vivid in my own mind as they are on the screen. It's just one of the many scenes, but that was probably the most impactful one I've been thinking about and pondering all summer. And there's a lot of moments like that. There are a couple cheesy moments where it gets a little bit Ape Rambo-ing to me, but I was kind of entertained by those segments. I don't have a huge problem with them. The only other, really, I thought it was basically a perfect movie. The only other problem that I had was sometimes the apes looked very similar. Sometimes I couldn't tell them apart. I didn't know who, aside from Koba and Caesar, because there was a little bit of kind of makeup, like battle makeup on them. But aside from them, I couldn't tell a lot of them apart, and I didn't know who was doing what and who this person was. Like when Ash has scenes, I didn't know that was Ash, except for Maurice. He looks different, but it was just hard to tell any of the apes apart. But I don't know what you do about that. It's not like the Ninja Turtles where you can have them wear colors or whatever. But that was sometimes a little bit hard, is figuring out who was saying what to whom. And other than that, I thought it was just great, particularly the son of Jason Clarke, played by Cody Smith McPhee, was very, very good. I just loved it. I thought it was the perfect melding of action, fun, but still thoughtful, something that still makes you it's not completely stupid action. And in the summer of another Transformers movie, how refreshing is that? It had great special effects, but it wasn't about the special effects, and it still felt really real and lush and natural, except for maybe some of those Rambo scenes. But those were, to me, were kind of fun, so it didn't bother me. But I just give it an A plus. I thought it was great. It's a little bit violent, if if you're sensitive to that, but not in a way that offended or bothered me. Maybe as far as a clean content rating, I'd probably give it like a B, B plus. But for overall grade, I'd give it an A plus. I really loved it.